Hello, beautiful people. We got a Sunday morning edition of the Indulgent Hour. I'm having a hard time speaking. I haven't finished my first cup of coffee yet today, but we're going to get into it right away. We're doing things a little bit differently today because with the live, because of a another stupid Facebook AI picking up something that I said it as a joke and making it seem like I was trying to promote something that I would never try to promote. So failed attempt at humor has me in Facebook live jail for the next month. So we're going to do a quick live to tape here. And without any further ado, I would like to introduce everyone to Gioella Sarli of Ronnie's Bakery and Cakes by Lou, correct?
Yes.
All right. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. So I'm gonna need you to help me out a little bit today. I'm gonna need your energy. Ever since you and I first met, we kind of connected right away. Not just because I love all those goodies that you're pumping out of there, but because you and I kind of bring like the same energy, right? So, but I'm gonna need you to help me out. Like you're my tag team partner today. I'm gonna need you to kind of just give me a little bit of a boost because as we talked about offline, it's a fairly rare occasion for me. I had a couple friends that were in town for the weekend. My buddy who lives in Chicago had some work in Charleston, so his fiance flew down to Savannah and they stayed at the Thompson and they got to hang out with us all weekend, which was awesome. They left early this morning, but I say all that to say I am way out of practice in terms of, and I don't really drink that much. That's not really what it's about. I'm just way out of practice in terms of like, I can, if I'm sitting at home on my couch watching a movie or a game or something like that, I could stay up kind of like a little bit later. But if I'm like out and about, especially after the week that I had running around as much as I usually do, and I cut the cord early Friday night. That we went out after dinner, and I think I got home at like probably 1 o'clock and went to sleep at like 2 o'clock. And then I woke up to text. My friend was trying to find his way home at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So I was trying to tell them, I said, there's an old quote from one of the guys that I follow, sports wise, Bill Simmons. He has a story that he told about one All-Star weekend, and Worldwide West, who is like a guy that's connected to a lot of the guys in the NBA, had this famous quote that said, "Don't chase the night." It's kind of like the nothing good happens after 2 a.m. thing, but a little bit different. So especially when it's the first, like that's a fatal error. When you're getting together with friends and you're having this, everybody's so pumped and we're so excited to see each other and we're going to have a great time. You have to be very careful on night one not to overdo it, especially if it's a whole weekend's worth of activities. I know that you're like, everybody's excited and everybody's happy to see each other. The problem is, though, is if you do a too hard night one, then it's hard to to kind of keep that same level of excitement going through the weekend. So I slept a lot later than I usually did today. That's why I text you. I'm like, I'm gonna need an extra half hour. I got to get some coffee in me because I am roughed up as I'm about I don't know, a month and a half away, I guess, from my 47th birthday, and I feel every bit of it this week and specifically today. So all of that nonsense aside, I've been really looking forward to having this conversation. When I first came upon you guys, and I actually was able to, with relative ease, I was able to dig this up. So what you see here is a stack of, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 10 boxes of delicious Ronnie's Bakery bars. And I mean, so basically you guys would make it easy for me if I had to sponsor or host like a meeting at like say a real estate office. And I don't, it's kind of like, and I'm sure you probably, that's probably the same way, like with your family. When you have this like Italian background, it's kind of like a family, at least for me, I can't show up to places empty-handed. So obviously, someone invites you to a barbecue, right? And that's where I really dropped the ball. Um, Joella's said that she put together a nice package for me to pick up so that I would have some treats, which is something that I like to do. If I'm going to have someone on, I usually like to have it kind of fresh in my memory to go. And that's not to say that I haven't eaten a lot of your stuff, but I like to, if I'm going to interview a chef or something like that, I like to try to go within a few weeks of it just so that it's kind of like fresh in my head. But with all the tour guiding that I was doing yesterday, by the time I came back over the bridge, and I didn't want to do it on the way because I didn't want them sitting in my car. So I said, let me just hit it on the way back. And then sure enough, I look at my phone and it's already 5 o'clock. And I got in trouble for that too, because the barbecue started at 4 and we were a good like hour and a half late. But it's all good. It's all good. I had to do the tour of Hilton Head for my friends in like basically under 3 hours. But I succeeded because we had lunch at the quarter deck and like here we are like days away from the Heritage in like the money seat, like the table there that is like directly looking at the 18th green. And it was a beautiful day with the breeze flowing, everything like that. It really worked out quite well. But I would have these meetings and I would want to show up with something for these agents so that I always say food is a universal language. That's why, like, I've done mortgages for 20 years and I've done a bunch of different things for, sales centric for a living. But food is a general language, which is why it's cool now that I'm starting to have, musicians on here and things like that, because everybody, for the most part, like if you don't have an affinity for food, I probably don't have a heck of a lot in common with another person in general if they don't. But anyone that has any interest whatsoever in it, we can come on here and talk about it all day long. So I would come in and you guys would make it easy for me because a lot of the stuff you would have already sort of boxed up. And then, of course, the entire whole display, which, of course, I'm going to have ready here as well. Let's kind of go back to, because this store's been open for how many years now?
We've had it for 25 years, my family. But Ronnie, the original owner, had it for 50. So it's really been going on for 75 years, but we've had it for 25, which is crazy.
That really is incredible. 25 years. Wow. That's like, and I think it's actually coming up. My 25-year college reunion is like next month. Yeah. So I already doxed myself by saying that I'm going to be 47 next month, but yeah, like I can't believe, and it's really, I don't know. It's not hard to believe just from the perspective of, so like where I come from, growing up in northeastern New Jersey, Bergen County, Passaic County, New Jersey, bakeries there are a really big deal. And every town has like multiple, right? And some of them have like slightly different styles. But that northern New Jersey, New York City, I mean, that's kind of in some ways almost like I would say the bakery capital of the world, especially when you incorporate all the Italians and everything like that. So, and I would obviously, we don't ever say anything negative about any business or whatever, any food and beverage or anything like that on this. But in my head, just in general, I know that there are some other bakeries in and around, but in my walk of life, whenever I have had a conversation, and it's the same thing in the Facebook groups, whenever I've had a conversation about like, where can I go for this, right? So like we talk about the Italian thing, and if people are going to have an issue with this, then they're going to have an issue with this entire episode, because we're going to come to a lot of Italian traditions and things like that. But we're just coming out of Feast of San Giuseppe period of time of the year, right? Now, if you live in North Jersey, you can go to one of these, carnivals, or as we literally the feast, as I just said. I mean, I had one in Hawthorne when I moved down here. The St. Anthony's feast every year was a huge deal, and the carnival rides and games and things like that. But everybody really went for the food, and everybody stood online for the Zeppelis and everything else. So if you're in New Jersey and you want a San Giuseppe pastry, you're probably going to go to like Hoboken or Jersey City. Probably won't have to go far. You probably can get it at your like Italian centric bakery that's right down the street from you in your town. But when you're in Bluffton, South Carolina, and you want your San Giuseppe pastry, I can tell you this, Gioella. Billy at Rocky's out in Savannah, which I drive. I mean, it's 45 minutes from my driveway to his parking lot. And I would say I try to go at least once a month, um, especially if I can get my brother if he's off of work or if it's a Saturday. And he lures me there with a lot of the specials that he does. But I think they open at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I know that it was like, we're gonna have these until they're gone, and they were gone, I think, within like 60 to 90 minutes that Saturday morning when he was selling them. So when people ask over here, well, where can we get these? My point is that 95% of the time, at least from what I see and from the conversations that I have, people are going to say Ronnie's Bakery. And that's a testament to running a business like that for, like you said, as long as your family has. And then prior to that, and it's, yes, different owners, but still people know that they can depend on the same quality and the same array of just unbelievable treats. As a matter of fact, I told you I was hanging out with that group of friends last night because my buddy had a barbecue. So we were a little bit late coming back from the island, but we had a great time. We ate a bunch of food, and somehow it came up in conversation that I was doing this interview today. And John and Cynthia Dorvell told me that you guys made their wedding cake.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I think there was some sort of tiramisu element to it. And you posted a video on your personal page a couple of days ago where I saw a cake that looked like it had some sort of tiramisu thing going on. Talk to me about these cakes, because, and here it is actually. Look at this. Is that what I was seeing? Is that like
Yeah.
a tiramisu cake? Let's talk about
This
it.
was yesterday's wedding. They gluten-free couple. They're completely gluten-free. And so we
Okay.
did a gluten-free tiramisu. That one was the main one, more for like pictures and for cutting. So
Got it.
that one we did the cocoa, like the powdered sugar on top, and then did the date and the just married. And then we did big full sheets for the kitchen that were also gluten-free and that they just cut up and served last night.
Just yesterday.
Just yesterday.
So see, we benefit from the wonderful internet that lets me, despite the fact that I didn't get my, and I am going to get my goodies tomorrow. You said they're in the fridge, they're waiting for me. I
They're
am going to
waiting.
pick those up tomorrow, but thanks to the internet, we can still have some nice, relevant, topical photographs, so that we can have some visual aids to show the people what kind of stuff that they can get. Okay, so we talked about how we have the Heritage is coming up this week. So
Yes.
it's about to get crazy.
Yeah.
And I think this is what I'm going to do. I think I'm actually going to, let's see if I can, because I saw, and I may or may not be able to pull up the visuals on this, but I saw that you guys also had quite a bit of, as we're only a couple hours away from the final round, and I'm sure that's what a lot of people are going to be watching today. You guys had a bunch of Masters themed treats as well that you were putting out this week. I saw like Masters cookies. So are you guys like, do you come up with this? Okay, it's this certain time of the year. I mean, obviously for the holidays, obviously, yes. But did you already have, like, do you plan on doing Masters themed pastries, or does someone actually say we want these?
No.
Okay.
Every year we sit down, it's a new month. What's going on this month? There's Masters, there's Heritage. There was a polo tournament this weekend today in Rose
Oh,
Hill.
the over at Rose Hill.
Yes,
I've
that
been there,
was
yeah.
crazy. I try to stay on top of every event, every sport, everything that is going on constantly. I think that like even the I didn't know that there was a polo match until like a week ago, and I said let's do cookies, and they went so quickly and they went so well. I just try to stay as on top as I can every
Sure.
holiday, every sporting event, everything. Super Bowl was the craziest Super Bowl we've ever had this year. Busiest. It was just every holiday. I try to be on top of everything.
I love it. Now, the other thing that I saw in that, and these cookies are, I was putting them up on the screen while you were talking. These cookies are beautiful, that you did for for the equestrian event, and I mean, look at these two. I mean, they really are the stuff that you guys have. It really is like a work of art. What I also noticed, and this kind of caught me off guard, was that video that you posted on your page a couple days ago. I saw this sign in the window. So you guys have empanadas, or you had empanadas on empanada day. So
We
you're
make them
even.
every morning.
Oh, you do? Okay.
When we were on Hilton Head, we used to do donuts and breads and more savory things. Empanadas. My family is from Uruguay.
Okay.
And we're from Uruguay. My grandparents are from Italy. My mom is from Uruguay.
Right.
Where we have empanadas all the time. And so we are slowly bringing back savory things. We have done the ham and Swiss croissants. We have a quiche Lorraine we do a couple times a week, which is to die for. The empanadas we do every single morning, and they're going so well, and they're so good. Not to even toot my own horn, but they're so good.
I love empanadas.
I love
See, now I'm even more excited because in addition to grabbing my little care package that you made for me, I think I may need to have like a ham and cheese croissant and a couple of empanadas
I need
as
to
well.
set some aside for you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, I'm all over that. I think I got to run to Savannah tomorrow, so I think what I'll do is I'll come to you first, and then I'll roll to the office from there. Wow, I'm excited about that. I just saw it as like you were doing your video, like walking through and showing, and I'm like, wait a minute, I saw empanada on there. I love empanadas.
I love them, and they're going so well. So it makes me want to keep doing more and more savory and just growing that aspect of the bakery.
I love that idea. John, who mentioned the cake, also said that he's become quite addicted to parlor donuts, and parlor's a different experience. It's a very dense, very very like indulgent treat. And I saw a couple of months ago, they had started putting out some savory sort of like pizza type of things like that. But yeah, that's an entire category that's like very interesting. But if you think about it, and I'm not trying to get like come off like I'm a pastry historian here, but and I'm not exactly like I don't have an appetite of like traveling the world. Like I want to see more islands than I do countries. I'm that type of person because I just like to be on the water, near the water. Obviously, it's one of the reasons why I live here. Although I don't try to get I don't get in or around as much as I'd like to. I do want to get back to Italy at least a couple of times, and my wife's never been, so I definitely want to get that done at the time that not when I have a year-old cat and a dog that I have to board for weeks at a time, which I hate doing to begin with because I miss her so badly. But we'll get around to it at some point. But that's, to me, is one of the most endearing things about the traditions that Italians and French and people like that have, is like I can go into Good Fortune Market, which is over in Savannah. There's Good Fortune. It's right about a block down from, of course, I'm going to draw a blank, a deli that is Waters, whatever it's called. Anyway, it's like a deli type of thing. Waters Cafe. So, but Good Fortune has the very simple ham, like it's like the baguette with just the ham and the butter or whatever. Like, I'm having difficulty finding my words today. But the point is that those things, those street treats that originated from on the streets of Italy and Paris and things like and France and things like that, they are simple. It's like we're talking like the pastry itself, the bread itself, maybe some ham or some I mean, for me, I love all the prosciutto and all that other kind of stuff, but like the the slice or two of ham, and just like whether or not you incorporate, I mean, I love cheese, so I would always want to incorporate cheese, but like even if it's just the butter spread on that baguette with the ham, a lot of those things are so simple, yet they're so unbelievably delicious.
I know.
And the star of the show, of course, for a bakery like yourselves, is the bread, the vessel, if you will, that's going to have these certain toppings and things like that on it. Which in and of itself, I mean, and that's another thing that I like to get into with you. You have these planning sessions and you figure out like what you're going to make, but like the day that I stopped in there, you're icing cupcakes. That's one of the, I mean, it's arduous and it's painstaking, but that's one of the simpler tasks. This whole baking process is something that takes hours upon hours and lots of prep and things like that. So draw the curtain back from that perspective for us as you consider going down this road of like incorporating more savory stuff. I mean, just at these cakes that I'm looking at, I know from being around people that like to bake, my sister is one of them, how much time it takes to make this stuff. She made a huge carrot cake for Easter and it was delicious. And it was probably about like, I don't know, it felt like it was like 5 or 6 inches deep. It was like a slab of a cake. But like, whether it's cakes or whether it's these other various delights that you guys have, these take hours and hours and hours. Oh, there's my friends at Coast with they must have had cookies from you guys for their event.
Yes.
Like, talk about like that part of it. Like, I mean, custom cakes, they take a ton of time, but a lot of these other pastries and specialty things take a lot of time to do as well, right?
Oh yeah. I think that it's me, my mom, my grandparents, and then we have one employee that is like family, but it's really just family. But I
Right,
think that after so many years, you have everything down to such a T when it comes to time
right.
that I mean, sometimes it blows my mind. I'm like, I don't know how we got all this done today. Or when it comes to a holiday, I'm like, we pulled that off.
Right.
It's we start super early. There are nights that we stay till 8, 9 p.m. cleaning up, prepping for the next day. I mean, you have to love it to do it. It's
Yeah.
a lot of work. But I think that after so many years, once you have a good routine down, and once you know, I put everything in categories. I'm like, okay, we're icing these cakes with whipped cream. Let's do all our whipped cream ones today. And you just get them out as quick as you can. But I don't know. I think it's just such a science. Like you know what to do and you know how to do it. And after so many years, you get it done a little bit quicker and you get everything done in a day. It blows my mind sometimes, everything that we are able to get done in a day.
I like to think of the term muscle memory, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not a, a workout gym person, but the idea of that is that just like you were saying, when you're doing something like this over a certain number of years, and yeah, you're incorporating new stuff, and sometimes you have to like slow things down a little bit if you're trying something brand new or whatever. But the stuff that you've made over and over and over and over again throughout the years, it does take time, but you're not thinking about it as much because it comes second nature to you because you've been
Yeah.
doing it for so long.
I mean, you make like tiramisu every day, and it's like I'm like, okay, 2 seconds, I'll have the filling done. It's just it comes to you, and then it's
Yeah.
just quicker and quicker and quicker. You do it every single day,
Yes.
and so it's quick.
Yeah. And the reason why people keep coming back to Ronnie's Bakery is because they know that they can expect that same level of quality and almost more importantly, consistently. I always think about um, when my grandmother passed away, my mother's mother, my grandma Annie, she lived like she was like I think she was like almost 99 years old when she passed away. And when my uncle Peter spoke at the repast, he talked about how like my grandmother, she probably made and this is going to sound like and it's a bit of an exaggeration, but let's just say that she made like 7 or 8 things that she made like really well. And also, I mean, she made everything well, but my point is like the 7 or 8 things that were the most common things that she made. And like, some Italian families are very regimented. Like Wednesday we're having pasta, and Monday we're having this, and so if you just classify it in terms of, I'm just talking about the meals that they would have most often as a family from day to day, from week to week. Those, and yes, she had other things in her repertoire, but those 6 or 7 things were exactly the same every single time. And one day my brother and I were actually sitting, and I texted this to Billy at the time, and I think I might have even posted it when I posted pictures of our sandwiches. My brother was like, because he's been here for 4 years now almost. He's like, I've been here for like 4 years, and I've eaten this sandwich. I've been eating this sandwich for 4 years, and every time I have it, it's exactly the same, and in the best way possible,
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it relates to what you guys do, because you have these regular customers, and I know as they're going along, they're just like me. They want to try new things from time to time, but they're going there for A, B, C, D, E because they've had it before. And not only that, then when their friends or their family or somebody on Facebook asks them, where can I go for this? It's automatic. Go to Ronnie's.
Yeah.
So that's years of, and it's also, which is the part to me that's the coolest, right? Is any restaurant or any food and beverage business is as good as the team that is, on the other side of the glass, if you will, right? Back in the kitchen.
Yes.
So you guys are not only like a well, what's the word, like a well-oiled machine of a team to begin with, it's also a team that's a family, which I'm sure has its moments as well at times, right?
It really does.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing because it just feels like you're cooking at home with like your favorite people, and you just get each other. You're the same people.
Right.
But sometimes it gets a little stressful and we get on each other's nerves. Absolutely. But no, it's the best working with family. It's just we all get each other. We know what we're doing, and we just do it, and we love it.
My family, or my mom at least, she'll jokingly say sometimes like, this should be a sitcom, like the stuff that, especially with like the extended family and stuff like that, and on both sides. And we it's kind of something that we always kind of laugh about. And I'm sure if someone came in, if a video crew came in and recorded you guys for a few weeks, they'd probably get some really, really entertaining content. That being said, I think it'd probably be fair to say this too. That conversation only goes so far, and that's why it is a joke when my mom brings it up, because there's definitely a lot of stuff that I would not want people to say, because we're passionate, right? And sometimes, you have your moments, and there are certain things that are not for public consumption. But I bet on the whole, if it was heavily edited, it would definitely be some entertaining content.
I tell my family all the time that this would totally be a good reality TV show.
No
This
doubt.
would be the best. Like, it would be hilarious. We're hilarious with each other here.
You guys would blow what's his name out of the water. It was that guy was it Carlo or whatever that had that
Buddy.
is that that had that show for
Yeah.
years. I mean, I enjoyed it from time to time. It was a little too performative at times for me.
Yeah.
But you guys would not have to try to be entertaining and to be hilarious. I can just tell that from being in the store for brief periods of time. So we got through the Masters. You had some Mastered inspired treats. Is there anything coming up this week as we go into? So now this is the time of the year where we always say, okay, it's Heritage, and then it may get quiet for a couple of weeks, but then after that, we are firmly in our busiest time of year. And I would imagine when you have people coming into town, even if they're vacationers for a week or so here or there, um, they're still having events and occasions and things like that. So you're catering to locals and tourists alike.
Yeah.
As you have these meetings and as you prepare for things like Heritage Week, which is a great deal of fun for all of us. We love shining a spotlight on our island and our tradition. Although I'm not really particularly a plaid person, so you won't see me wearing that stuff. But
Me
I,
neither.
I yeah, but if I'm lucky enough to get my pair that I always look for last minute for Friday, I'll kick around. And I think I watched one actual golf swing last year. The whole
I
rest of the
I
time I was just
literally watched one
yeah.
swing, and then I was just skedaddling.
Exactly. Just, walking around, talking, having a drink, having something to eat, all this other kind of good stuff. Sitting up on the quarter deck yesterday was absolutely beautiful with the breeze, and it looks like the weather's going to be pretty solid. So, talk to me about what's going on inside that constantly with I see you're like me, right? The wheels are always turning about what I'm going to be creatively doing next. So, what's on the horizon as we go here into like the middle of April into, about a month and a half away from our busy season that really won't end until like Columbus Day weekend, basically, ever since COVID, right?
Well, I feel like we are busy from January to December. There's always something going on
It
because
really
we have
is.
Heritage next week. After that, May is all about high school and college graduations for us.
I forgot about grad. See, I'm not in the kid world, so I'm glad that you said that, and that's why I
No,
asked.
I know
Continue.
there's just so much to think about always. And then,
Yeah.
what do we? I mean, it's a big wedding season. I think like a month ago it started where every weekend we have 3, 4, 5 weddings.
Right.
We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday weddings sometimes because people can't fit in weekends. It's
Sure.
been crazy.
Right.
But no graduations, and then we have what do we have? I guess it's like Mother's Day, 4th of July, Father's Day, all those things in the summer.
Right.
And then all the tourists, we do a lot of cookies for vacation rentals. So when people come and they stay at their homes, they'll have our pastries there, or they'll have like cookies that look like lighthouses there and stuff like that. It's a lot.
It really is. I love like all the themed stuff. I love the creativity. Um, with the cakes, with all of I mean, the attention to detail is just incredible. And I would imagine someone has something or just a general theme in mind of something that they want. They just reach out to you. You have your consultation, right? If you will,
Yeah.
for lack of a better term.
Yes.
And then you're going to then try to bring that vision to life. Oh my God, look at this. That's incredible.
Oh, that one was fun.
A Scarface cake. So you go,
Oh, fun.
you get the detail from the customer as far as what they're looking for, and then what do? Do you provide? Do you put together like a mock up of a design, or how does that work?
Sometimes I'll do a mock-up if it's needed, but
Yeah,
I have customers that'll come to me and they already have an inspiration picture. They know what they want, and so those
right,
are easy. Some people aren't too sure, so they'll either come in or I'll send them ideas, and we'll look at some different things and designs and different ways of laying it out, and then we'll kind of come up with an idea together or sketch it out if they're here at the bakery. But
right.
that's what's so fun about the cake part of this job too is you people come in all day ordering cakes and you never know what's coming. And so it keeps you on your toes all day long and you never get bored because there's always something new and always
Yeah,
something different and always something there's always something new to do. And it's always fun because it kind of just keeps you on your toes and it doesn't feel as repetitive as just making pastries all day and making cookies all day and things like that.
I love it. I love it. And every day's different.
Every single day is different. And you never know what someone's going to come to you with, what idea they have, we've done crazy cakes, crazy things.
Some of these photos are wild, and just like I said when we started off the conversation, if you're running in and out and you need something for a meeting or something, you're getting together with some family or some friends or whatever the case is, there's always going to be stuff that you're just going to be able to pick up and grab and take with you. And there's always going to be, like we said, an incredible display of, I mean, excuse me, when I'm standing in front of that display case, I'm literally like a kid in a candy store, and I have to, at some point, I have to exhibit some restraint and be like, all right, cut me off and get me out of here, because I just want all of this.
I have no self-control. You would think that after so many years of just seeing it all the time, you would be tired of it, but the things I take home are ridiculous. I'm never tired of it. I have zero self-control in this bakery.
It really is some killer, as we see some more master stuff as we go into the final round. We got an amazing heritage cake. We got cake. Are these cake pops? Golf ball cake pops? Wow. You even got an assortment of cupcakes, and I mean, Gioella, this is incredible.
Thank you.
Really, really incredible. Not that, like I said, I'm not surprised at all about it, because I've seen so much of your stuff, but I'm excited to enjoy more of it this week. I mean, this is a factory that is churning out some unbelievable baked treats, and what I'm equally as excited about, obviously, I love my sweets. We had apple pie last night, and then I came back to the house, and my wife had made I can't remember what she put into it, but she made like a banana breadish type of like sweet savory bread for Easter, and I hadn't had a chance to have it yet, because again, Danielle made the carrot cake, and then Danielle made her cheesecake, and so it's like I can only do so much. I also I'll admit, and this is kind of where I'm going with this, I had more slices of pizza gain than I had slices of actual dessert food, right? But I am equally, as for someone as loves sweets as much as I do, I am equally, perhaps if not more, excited about what that clever mind of yours is going to be coming out with for, as you said, these savory treats that you're going to kind of lean into. So that to me is that's my big takeaway, at least, because again, that kind of stuff is, the beauty is in its simplicity, and it, like I said, it allows the croissant or the bread or the bun or the whatever to really be the star of the show, but then incorporating all these things that you and I and people like us love, with the meats and the cheeses. And I always joke around, I say, and it's really not a joke, I could live on mushrooms, olives, and cheese. Now, don't get me wrong, I need all my salted cured meats as well. But if you just said you're going to be on a desert island and you're going to have all the cheese and olives and mushrooms that you possibly need, as long as you gave me something, something refreshing to enjoy with it. My buddy was busting my chops that we went to Sober Mesa the other night with the friends that were visiting. It was spectacular. Just really, really incredible. The team took great care of us. We had a private room. The Masters winded down, and I was actually I got to go ahead to put my wrestling on the television over on the side of the room, so that I could have my one. After all, we are on the road to WrestleMania. It's like the Super Bowl of wrestling. So I got to have an eye on my on my soap opera, if you will. I was enjoying. Jason looked at me like I was out of my mind when he said, "What do you want me to put on?" And I said, "USA SmackDown." But yeah, I lost my train of thought. That savory type of stuff is, and we had a charcuterie type of thing. We had there was like a crab toast, there was like a lobster waffle that was just unbelievable, and it was just like that type of like enjoying and sharing, different bites. And the Oh, that's what it was. The cocktail. My buddy was busting my chops that I had like a martini with like extra dirty with, and he's like, the server's like, would you like extra olives? And I said, yeah, of course I would. And so
Absolutely.
if my friend's questioning me, I'm like, who do you think you're talking to? Like, yes, I do love a nice martini, just like I like a nice Bloody Mary, which I had at Quarter Deck. I had a great Bloody Mary there yesterday. It's
Yeah.
just an excuse to add a couple of additional snacks to the experience. I'm going to get olives in that. If it's a Bloody Mary, probably down a lot of places down here, I'm going to be getting a shrimp. I mean, the ones that have like the sandwiches and stuff on them, those are just kind of like crazy. But
He
like,
doesn't.
yeah, but if I'm getting a martini, I know it's because, and if I'm lucky, maybe I'm getting some stuffed olives, and maybe I think there was an okra in my Bloody Mary yesterday. So I mean, come on, we're playing chess, not checkers here, folks. If I can get a
I
cocktail that's
need
going to get
a
me a couple more
martini.
bites,
So many olives, filthy, dirty. Like that is how I need
yes,
my martini.
okay, okay, I love it.
Olive juice at
Oh,
that point.
forget it. I'm telling you, anything pickly, briny, any of that kind of stuff. Um, do you also do espresso martinis too, or no?
I
Yes.
am a espresso martini person.
Okay.
I am.
I think
I,
this is a good way. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I love where is it? Wise Guys. Have you had their
Okay.
espresso martini?
No, I have not. I have not.
Love
But
espresso
this
martini.
is a perfect bridge for us. And I'm not going to keep you too much longer. I try to say this is the indulgent hour because I know you got stuff to do and it's Sunday, and you got family stuff. But I think that's the perfect segue for us. So, Wise Guys has a great espresso martini. You're saying,
Yes.
um, and we it doesn't we obviously we can incorporate drinks as well. But let's kind of segue that into talking about some food here as we wind things down. So where you are having the shop in town, and you also live in Bluffton, right? Is that what you told me? Right. So we're very blessed to have, like, before I moved here, I had experienced most of what the island had to offer, and I still have my favorites. Obviously, anyone that follows me knows what I like and where I go, and I could probably count on one hand the couple of places that I haven't been to on the island, and also I would say probably Bluffton too. There's only a couple of places that I haven't been to. What would you say, especially with a couple of these new additions that we've had recently? What would you say are things that have been kind of sticking in your mind, or things that you have particularly really enjoyed, or even if it's just kind of like, because you've been here for a long time now, what are some of your, or perhaps even some of your go-tos? What are some local favorites of yours, either more recently or historically? Let's put it that way.
I There's just so many good places here. You can't get tired of it. There's
Yeah.
just so many good places. I love Wise Guys. I absolutely love them. Frankie Bones, I love.
Yep.
What else do I love? Ombra,
Do
I
you
love.
Yep, Ombra's great. Do you so when for Frankie Bones, do you go to both, or is it more Bluffton because you're out here, or how does that work?
I've gone to Bluffton more just because it's closer, but I've
Right.
done the Hilton Head one a couple times too, or maybe
Hilton
one.
Head is a very specific vibe
Yeah,
inside the restaurant.
yeah,
It doesn't have that same vibe inside in Bluffton, but the cool thing about Bluffton is you have that nice outdoor area too. That's cool because
yeah.
there's really not. I mean, they do have the outdoor one in Hilton Head, and that's where we filmed the soup that I did with Chef Andrew. Um, just because of the trees and the shade. It's a little bit of a sort of darker, cozier, and not quite as big of an outside area as the one in Bluffton. But don't sleep on. This is for the audience, just in general. Don't sleep on the specials at Frankie Bones. Some days I'm not sure what I want to do for lunch, and if I, call up there, and I think they may even have it on the website now. Um, which I love when places do that. The Boathouse does it, Dockside does it. Sometimes I'm coming off the island. I'm like, what specials we got going on today? One day they had like buffalo chicken, like boneless buffalo chicken, but it was from the thigh meat. It was
Yeah.
incredible. They had some tacos and some quesadilla that day that I ended up eating some of, and then I brought the rest home for Jocelyn because I had to go to an event or something that night. Frankie Bones both locations, both chefs put out some pretty strong specials. I'm trying to remember what the heck it was last time that I got, but it was awesome. Good spots.
I mean, there's so many good spots. I feel like you just
Yeah.
can't get. I don't have enough time to go to all of them. I wish I could go to all
When
of them.
when we moved here, Jocelyn was like, "You need to slow down. Like, we live here now. We don't have to go to all of them all at once. Like, we have time. We're gonna get everywhere." I would say, got to give a shout out to Joelle for just celebrating their 1 year anniversary.
Well's great.
Right.
I love that place.
While we're talking about Italian restaurants, I have to give a mention to Mulberry Street Trattoria. My friend Michelle had sort of a reintroduction. Michelle Garbed, formerly known as Michelle Elliott, had it's kind of like a reintroduction branding for her real estate business since she took Matt and her got married down in Key West earlier this year. So she took her new last name, and she kind of wanted to just have like an announcement type of thing for her customers and for her partners, that she was kind of rebranding herself based on her new name. She had the upstairs area, which my father and his fraternity brothers frequently have their get-togethers up there, and Chris and the team takes great care of them. Eric, my friend, had his mom and his stepfather and his family in town for Easter for the week, so they always have kind of like a parting dinner the night before they go back. So he said, you think that we might be able to get a table at Mulba's? It was either Wednesday or Thursday night. Chris sat him upstairs. They had a great meal. We went to we kind of had a double date night when they got a babysitter a couple of months ago, where we were able to go to Joelle and enjoy a pizza and a couple of different things, and that was very good. I'm a big which isn't to say, I mean, I love everything about it, but I like to go to Joelle for lunch because I can get like a pizza and maybe one of the sandwiches, and usually I'll have some stuff to kind of take home. And what I really more recently discovered was, I know pizza's a hot button issue for a lot of the lunatics down here that can't, get over the fact that their pizza and their bagels aren't exactly to the specifications that they were in New York and New Jersey and so on and so forth. You can actually just, you can order takeout from Joelle, which means you can literally just call Joelle and order a couple of pizzas to pick up, which is, oh yeah, and it is sneaky, or maybe not so. After I'm saying this now, I probably said it before. One of the best pies in Bluffton. That being said, we're also days away. I want to say it's April 12th. Did I see it was the 18th? Whatever it was, local pie is here now out on New Riverside.
Yes.
Soon to be followed by. Excuse me. Soon to be followed by Frosty Frog over here in New Riverside. So they really are coming at us fast and furious. Have you experienced Radici yet?
No.
Okay. So that you need to put on your list. They don't really do lunch anymore. They do a family meal lunch on Sundays, which is we did Mother's Day there last year for the family meal. Choose one, lasagna. My dad had a sausage sandwich that was incredible. Something like, I mean, my dad loves when Frankie Bones does like the bratwurst or the sausage sandwich or whatever there. And I sent him there when they were doing like Cincinnati inspired something, and they had like some sort of chili dog or something like that. And that's all he needed to hear, because he likes their bratwurst and their sausages as it is. And then they were making a chili dog. Like, I mean, forget about it. That was pretty much a lock. But what was I saying? Local pie. We'll be out here. Frosty Frog. There's and then you have of course the flatbread now over there by Public. So we're getting Nom Nom. I've ordered a couple of different times with the poke bowls, but no, Radici, highly recommend it. I would go, definitely go for dinner, and for family type of events, if they somehow end up around a Sunday, that Sunday family meal lunch is a special one too. Mattia and and Giondo are chefs that worked at like Michelin rated restaurants over in Italy before they moved here to pursue the American dream. And then you have Kami, who is Camila, who's Mattia's significant other, kind of runs the front of the house there. It's part of that the Shea George family with George and Kathy and Piero. Obviously, just still heavily involved with both of those restaurants. But I got to see Mattia and Jondo the other day. They were enjoying their family meal, their little lunch, and we got to talk about some cool stuff. And I can't get into any details, but all I can tell you is that there's something. Let's put it this way. I'm trying to think of the best choice of words here. There's a flutter of something going on over here in Bluffton that is has been a long time coming, something that I'm very excited about, and something that I've been very patient that will hopefully be coming to fruition soon. So I'm going to talk to you offline about that. But for now, we're going to keep that to leave that to the imagination of the viewers, of the listeners. Where do, like, for your family, whether it's because you have a son, right?
No.
What?
Okay.
What? It must be family members then because I've seen you in a lot of pictures.
It's my brother.
Oh, got it.
He's 10. We have
a
big age gap.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it. So, but regardless, family wise,
yes.
Where do you go if you're going like with whether it's with your parents or whether it's like what's because a 10-year-old, no shortage of options for them as well. Where do you guys like to go, like family wise? What are your like, or even if it's just like we're gonna order X tonight, what are we getting and where are we getting it from?
We've been going to May River Grill a lot lately. That has been a big one.
And they're doing lunch as of recently too, right? Okay.
I haven't been to their lunch, but we've been doing dinner there a lot lately. Ocon, we've been going to often.
I love Ocon.
Ocon.
When people come here and they say, I need to go out to dinner in Bluffton and I want like a really cool experience, I always and Bernard knows this. I just got caught up with him the other day. I mean, that's that whole Bridge Collective situation to begin with. It's so beautiful over there. I love like farmers market days as well when it's kind of like right up on that little corner there. The Pearl obviously over here in the other corner. I actually saw Southern Peel was able to get their hands on another truck. They had that fire so they were able to get another one from somebody up in Charleston or whatnot. But no, I totally agree with you. I am upset with myself for two things that I have not made happen yet. One is the brunch at Ocon with Bernard and the team.
I haven't been, and I want to so bad.
Same. So, and I think it's fair to say, as you said, and there you are, you're at the bakery. I'm up here in the podcast HQ up here at the house. Sundays are hard to get me to go out and do stuff. Like after I wrap up with you, I may throw in an hour or two to depollinate my screen porch because everything's covered in disgusting pollen and I'm just kind of getting grossed out by it. So every year I do a nice spring cleaning on the porch, and I think I'd like to get that done ahead of my big WrestleMania weekend next week. But I have not been to the brunch yet at Ocon, and I have not still, after all these years, I have still yet to experience the farm brunch, which I've heard is spectacular.
I haven't either, but I've heard that it's amazing. I think my mom's gone, but I haven't.
It's tough. It's just, I mean, even like Calhoun Street Tavern, as the locals would call it, church, when you have the Low Country Boil with Jevin and Andy playing there. They'll do brunch on Sundays at Calhoun. I want to say they play from like 12 to 3 or something like that. I have made it up. It was a couple of years ago now, but yeah, Sunday brunch is a little bit tougher for me. And just in general, I mean, I know I slept quite a bit later today than I usually do. Lately, I'm usually up by like 7, 8, 9 o'clock the latest. I'm not a big like go out and grab breakfast person. A lot of times it's just like I got my banana, maybe one of those special K bars or two or something like that. I'm a big lunch person. So if certain restaurants, and I'm going to use the word suffer, and I mean in terms of suffering in my own internal, process of elimination, figuring out where I'm going to go and what I'm going to do. I definitely is limiting to me if I can't get lunch somewhere, or like, I always say I feel bad that I haven't eaten as much of the pizza, like let's say down on Hilton Head, because pizza's like, okay, it's Friday night, let's go get a pizza, and I'm anxious to see what the team does, the new ownership group at Ralphie's, because it really is always a solid pie there. I've never had any issues with the pizza from day one. Privately would love to see them come back with those sandwiches that they put on those giant garlic knot looking breads that they had. That was very unique. That was a separator. Besides that type of stuff, what would you say? And yes, I mean, okay, have you done Greenhouse yet?
No, but
Okay.
I want to go so bad. I mean, the building's beautiful. It looks
It's
amazing.
absolutely it's gorgeous. It's
It's gorgeous.
gorgeous. And I've been not really jokingly saying for a while now that like the greenhouse is going to be like the new girlfriend spot. That's where like, and which isn't to say that I am going to be enjoying plenty of, I think they called it a poison berry. It's basically their mocktail, but if you want to add vodka to it, it becomes whatever berry to a poison berry. It was absolutely delicious. It had the biggest blackberry that I've ever seen on a
You've been
skewer
already?
across the top of it. Yes, I was able to go the first night that they were open. I got a very early table. Joss and I enjoyed some clam appetizer that was very good with like a coconut milk type of situation. Agua chile with some toast with tortilla rounds to dip in the shrimp and whatever else is incorporated in agua chile. I did the burger, which is most of the menu there is gluten free, so it's a burger on a gluten free bun. I think there were some mushrooms incorporated in there. I did some fries. Josh wanted to avoid fried foods on that particular night, so I want to do the Caesar fries and I want to do the onion rings and turnips or whatever the other one is. In addition to a couple of other things, there's a lobster toast upstairs in the speakeasy that I didn't get to check out yet. I, for me at least, I see myself living in the shareable portion of that menu,
Yeah.
whether it's going to the speakeasy or whether going in and sitting at the bar. I mean, I mentioned Matt, Michelle and Matt, we ran into them. She got her nights crossed up, and so they hung out for a bit, but they had a reservation elsewhere. I think they went back the next night. Ran into Tanner and Courtney, who just got married this past week out in Las Vegas. Tanner Sutphin was there with Courtney Marine, who are they're now officially married. They went to the little chapel in Vegas and did the whole Vegas weekend with some friends. We randomly ran into them having dinner with some friends. I mean, that's what I said was in my post, is that's what the greenhouse I feel like is. It's going to be like where you go, like whether it's for happy hour and go get a bite to eat, and you're going to see this person or that person or this friend and that friend. And I'm very excited for them because they put a lot of time and work and effort into it, and it definitely has brought kind of like a cool element. I mean, like you said, there's no shortage of options now, and even the beautiful job that they did across the street there with Ma Daisy's Porch and Chef B's, and that's another bakery in town that's done a good job, right? Bacchus there behind Chef B's. They got some unique stuff over there as well. I think they have. My wife said they have. You can get a cronut and they'll fill it with Nutella upon request or something like that.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Are you a Nutella person?
I am. I try
You
not to
are.
be, but I am. I definitely try to stay away from it because they say it's not good for you, but at this
Oh,
point,
really?
I
Are
do
there
it.
Nutella inclusive desserts at Ronnie's?
Yes.
Okay.
We do, well, I have a Nutella filling, so cakes,
Okay.
cupcakes. We can do a
Got it.
Nutella filling, and it's not straight up Nutella. It's
Right.
a Nutella kind of like a mousse, so it's a little bit lighter. But
Right.
we've done Nutella like stuffed pockets, like Danish dough.
Oh,
So
baby.
good.
I
Oh,
love that.
I love
I
it.
love me a nice chocolate croissant. It's kind of like that same concept, right?
Yes, same kind of vibe.
Have you been to Flora and Fauna out in Savannah?
No.
Okay. So you and I will have a separate conversation. We'll have a separate Savannah conversation.
Yes.
More recent endeavors for me have really broadened my horizons, if you will. I have a handful of mine that are favorites. I went to Chefs and Farmers with a colleague That was at that Maritime Museum on MLK. It was a fundraiser for the farmers market on Forsyth that's out in Savannah every week. And a lot of those restaurants that were there, a lot of them are ones that I've already been to, even up to including recently. You had the farm, you had Common Thread, you had, Veratina, the Laundry Diner. I mentioned Sobra Mesa, Husk, all these different spots, and you have newer ones that are popping up like Fish Bar, and now they're talking about Marbled and Fin and things like that. I'm gonna go for my birthday for Memorial Day weekend. I'm gonna finally check out Saint Bibiana, which I've been looking forward to trying for a while, and I'm gonna go to that candlelit concert that they have at the DeSoto, where they do
What are they doing?
They're doing the music of Hans Zimmer, so like Lion King and like
Oh my gosh.
all the scores from all those different. How cool does that sound?
That sounds cool.
Check it out. I think there's still tickets available. The two ones that are coming up on the calendar are Coldplay and Imagine Dragons is one that's combined for whatever, and they even show you like the playlist of the songs that they're going to play, which is really cool.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. But yeah, Flora and Fauna, which is part of that farm family, that's like they're killer. And I see here finally, remember we were talking about those Saint Giuseppe pastries. There they are. I'm still looking at your whole timeline of photos here, but Flora and Fauna, you walk in and it's a supper club, so you can go there for dinner, but you walk in and it's the setup where the line starts on the left side, and then at right side of the counter is the register, and it is a murderer's row. Because like I know I go in and like it's like, okay, I know what I want. I want the chicken Caesar sandwich, which is like a chicken cutlet sandwich on a crispy baguette. That's like a Caesar thing. Yeah. The Rockies special up until yesterday was a Caesar wrap this week. I don't remember what they called it, but I knew that I wanted that. And I knew that I wanted maybe some fries with, I don't know if it was a pouton or a poutine or however you say it, with the gravy and whatever. They got mushroom gravy, they got sausage gravy, they got biscuit breakfast sandwiches, blah, blah, blah. But the problem is that then you make your way from one side of the bakery counter to the other, and they have those like cruller looking donuts that are like glazed with fruit and stuff in them. And then it's like, and then they have these cookies, and then they have these biscuits. And it's like, by the time I get to the register, I've rung up like $100 bill because I'm like, I need one of those. Essentially what happens every time I come to your store, right? It's like, okay, I need a couple of those and a couple of those and a couple of those. And so it's dangerous. It really is dangerous. That's the neighborhood of, and like I said, we'll talk offline about Savannah because I know I got to let you go soon, but the Starland district specifically, it started for us just going to Two Tides. And then it's like, then we stumbled upon the Vault, which is part of the Rhino Hospitality Group that owns, Madame Butterfly and Chive Sea Bar and Flock to the Walk and, Flying Monk Noodle Bar and all that other kind of stuff. It really is. It's incredible. And, even if, I wouldn't say it's specifically Starland, but had a really nice, they did a collaboration with the Darling Oyster Bar. Emporium at the Perry Lane Hotel is another one that's really good. That's what we were actually talking about when Jocelyn, my wife, said, you need to pump the brakes. It was like when we got here, Savannah overwhelmed me. And because it's so much, there's so many more. Like I'm still dying to get to Fish Bar, and I'm still, like I said, I finally said we need to get to St. Bibiana. I had a great experience that's really the only thing up until we went to Veratina. There was really the only thing I hadn't experienced as Savannah was the Italian food. Because I just get so engrossed in, all of my Asian influence, appetites and things like that. And it's a whole other, like, it's a can of worms. It's a whole other cornucopia of deliciousness, I wanted to say, over there. And we didn't even talk about like getting on 170 and going the other direction. I mean, Locals Raw Bar has been one of my favorites, and that's also what pushes some of the ones that I haven't tried yet further down on the list, because Locals Raw Bar will post a special, or Sister Deli. I mean, that with their soft shell crab sandwich this week, those girls are killing it too, by the way. When you have it, I know that your time off is very limited, but when you have a chance, whether it's with your mom or your brother or whomever, take a ride out to Beaufort and go visit my friends, Danielle and Sammy at the sisters, if you will, in the flesh. Go visit them, because not only do they have like they have this new roasted chicken sandwich, that whole first menu of sandwiches, I had almost every, even like the mushroom sandwich, which for me, I'm always wanting like meat, or like the mushroom sandwich, the Gulf shrimp melt or whatever. I mean, it's all so incredible. And she's got a girl back there that's whipping up some pretty sweet cakes too. She pulled me in with one that was like a peanut butter chocolate cake. And listen to this. This was crazy. So they have a Matilda cake that my friend Simone basically said that it was the best cake that she's had in, I'm not gonna say her age because I'll get in trouble, in my XX amount of years on this planet. She said that's how good the Matilda cake. And I didn't even know the story behind the Matilda cake. What's the movie or whatever that it's from?
What movie is it from? I don't remember.
It's something that I was catching shit from her and my wife for not knowing. Okay, it's from it's from James and the is it James and the Giant Peach? Yeah. Bruce Devours, or is it Matilda cake? Oh no, it's from Matilda. Inspired by the 1996 film Matilda, where Bruce Bogtrotter eats a whole chocolate cake. So anyway, when I saw this peanut butter one, I was like, oh, are you guys going to have that? That one, she said it actually has to be special order, because if she just puts that one out on the counter, it doesn't. And I'm saying to myself, I don't know about you, but peanut butter chocolate is like one of my favorite things in the world.
Oh my gosh. It's
apparently that one doesn't move as fast as the other a couple of ones that she does.
That's crazy.
That's weird. I think the last time I got one was like a spice cake or something like that, or like a snickerdoodle or something like that. It was awesome. But yeah, they're and going back to the Italian conversation that we were having before, they do it to me as well, because right under where they put those couple of baked options at that, like they did an orange blossom Rice Krispie treat that was just incredible. So they'll have those couple of things on the top of the case, but then you look in the case and it's like I'm transported to my brother-in-laws, Ian and Travis, have a cheese shop in Biddeford, Maine. It's called Nibblesford. And it's like every fromage under the sun, plus the salted cured meats. And now they're doing paninis and charcuterie boards and everything else. So Danielle is going cuckoo with the cheeses and the copas and the things like that she's stocking in there. And you can obviously get them on one of your sandwiches and stuff like that, and you can get charcuterie boards, but you can literally just say, I want a quarter a pound or a half a pound of this copa salami or whatever it is. And it's just, it's that type of stuff is where I come from, at least. That's the type of stuff that I miss, whether it's the Italian deli in town that would be, a revolving door of people coming in to get their chicken cutlet sandwiches or whatever the case is. Or, if my mom was catering a party and she would have them, with the chicken Angelina and that, like all the different stuff that my buddies, John and Rob, Angelina's sons, they run the deli with their mom, and they come up with some of the craziest things, from breakfast through lunch to whatever. They come up with some of the craziest, most incredible combinations and things like that. So yeah, we'll talk more about Starland, but we covered a lot today, buddy.
We did. We really
Hell yeah. So what, you didn't know what you were in for with me. What up? And you woke me up too, by the way. So thank you for that. I love it. So what time do you, and it's 6 days a week, what time do you get to the bakery and what time do the doors open every day?
We open at 9.
Open at
And
9
it
o'clock.
just depends how busy we are. Holidays and stuff, there are times where we're in here 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and we don't leave till 9 p.m. It's like
Really? Oh
it
my goodness.
holidays, we live here. This is
Okay.
home. I'll go home, take a nap, come right back.
Right.
Holidays are a little crazy, but usually the rest of the year we kind of can come in a little bit later and we'll leave on time at 5:30 when we close, or sometimes we'll stay a little bit later to prep for the next day. But it is early hours and you definitely have to love it to do it, but I'm just thankful that they keep us busy enough to where we can do these things that we love.
Yes. I mean, it is a commitment and then some to have a place like this, an institution that is open 6 days a week, that not only has an abundance of things that you can come and grab any particular time, but that allows you to get something specific that you want for your special occasion, for your birthdays, for your holidays, for your office meetings, for your events, all this different kind of stuff. We're lucky to have you guys here, because that's something that, again, for someone like me who goes to these events and different things and doesn't want to show up empty-handed, and also, let's be real, being there on 278 on that approach to Hilton Head, it really is the perfect
Spot.
little stop-off point. And I think that's what people need to keep in mind. As Gioella mentioned, she's going to start incorporating a lot more savory type of treats as well. So, after 9 a.m., 6 days a week, you want to make a little pit stop at Ronnie's Bakery and grab a nice ham and cheese croissant or something like one of these amazing things that she's going to be cooking up there. You grab that and you grab your coffee, and you are on your way to a beautiful day in the lowcountry. Before I let you go, anything in particular that offering wise, anything in particular that you would like to put a spotlight on, anything at all in terms of what you would like the audience to be either aware of or reminded of before I let you get back to it as we approach 1 p.m. here on Sunday, April 12th.
Well, we have our own coffee bean with Savannah Coffee Roasters, so no one else has our bean.
Okay.
It's really exciting. It's called the Coffee Cake Roast because we're most known for our coffee cakes. But it's a medium roast. We just released our spring coffee menu. We have a spring blossom latte, which has notes of lavender and honey. And then I also have a honey vanilla latte that people can do hot or iced. The iced one has cold foam. We have some little petals on top. I've been loving our spring coffee menu lately. And then just lots of heritage this next week we'll have.
That's where I saw the spring blossom latte on that empanada flyer.
Yes.
There it is, right?
Every single morning for the past 2 weeks, I've been drinking that spring blossom. That's what I had just now. So good.
It looks incredible.
It's so good.
So I'm doing a lot of driving around and things like that for various endeavors and various reasons, right? So I love, even though I have my cup of coffee in the morning and I'm working through my second box of K-Cups on my my Stella Blue. I'm a big Barstool guy, and Dan Katz, his dog Stella, he named a whole coffee line after her. And I'm actually finishing up my second box, which is called the Miss Peaches blend, named after Dave's rescue dog.
I saw that.
Yeah, and I even bought, because if you bought it, somehow it links to your address in your account. If you bought a case of cold brew cans, which is decently pricey to have shipped to your house, but regardless, they're delicious. And Jocelyn even enjoyed a few of them. I think it was mocha espresso or something like that. If you ordered the case of coffees in the can, you got entered into a contest to actually go there and visit with the guys in Barstool in Chicago. If I was 10, 15 years younger, I would probably be living where my buddy was here visiting from this weekend, where Mark and Risa came from. They live up in Naperville. If I was younger, and don't get me wrong, I love where I am, but ever since they opened that crazy office with the basketball court and all the different podcast studios and things like that, in a different life, I would be literally standing outside the door waiting to try to get an interview to get in there. But I say all that to say, I love, even though I had my coffee in the morning, and for those couple of weeks I would bring a can of that with me on the road. I love to be able to grab a nice iced coffee, whether or a chai. I'm a big chai person too. Whether I'm downtown and I stop and I grab it at the Sugary, or whether it's at Corner Perk, or when I was doing my tour of the island for my friends yesterday, we ended up popping into Java Burrito because I thought they would appreciate that. And she was actually really excited because they have these sort of burlappy type of like shopping beach bag looking things. And she bought one of them as a souvenir. It's too bad their flight was early this morning because she definitely wanted to try some of their food. And I was like, well, there's one in Savannah too, if you want to hit that on the way out. But they had an early flight this morning. I love to be able to grab my coffee, especially like, for example, when I go to Al's and they got that good, like, like not cubed and not shaved, but like that sort of rock ice or whatever that they put in the drink. And he'll do his cold brew, whatever the heck it's called, and he'll throw in some almond milk and he'll throw in a little bit of vanilla. And I just love driving around, on a nice 80-degree day with the sun shining, and I'm bopping around from one appointment to the next, and that iced coffee is just sitting in that cup holder, marinating and whatnot. And I'm like, I love it because by the time I get back in my driveway, it's usually enough for the ice to last me until I get back to keep it cool. And I'm also a little screwy too. Like I like, I don't know, whatever. At some point, I just became somewhat addicted to it. I don't have as many of them as I used to have, but I love a nice rise, like the orange vitamin water. Usually it'll take me a few days to have one. I'll just bring it with me and then put it in the fridge, and then bring it with me and put it in the fridge. But I told Al, when I'm finished with my iced coffee from Al's, I pour in, because now it's usually warm by then. If I want, I'll pour in the rest of my vitamin water, and it makes like a little like orange and cream with the leftover ice that's in the cup. But I'm a sucker for any of those seasonal type of drinks. So I think I may actually enjoy a honey vanilla latte tomorrow morning also. Yeah. And I bet Jocelyn would love that spring, but I would probably like it too. I mean, they look delicious.
Thank you.
So no shortage of options for your events, for your if you want a beverage, like Gioella said, they have their own coffee bean from, what is it? Who Roasters?
Coffee Roasters.
Savannah Coffee Roasters. Another great spot over in Savannah over there. And yeah, I mean, that's about it. Anything else before I let you go?
No.
I want to bring this back up. We did. I love it. That's why I say, like, I try to keep it to an hour, but when it's a free-flowing conversation, I know sometimes it's tough to shut me up, but when you're talking about all this delicious stuff, I just can't help myself. So here we are, Ronnie's Bakery and Cakes by Lou, 843-683-7850. Don't call her today. She's going to enjoy, hopefully, a much well-deserved afternoon off after she leaves the bakery today. 1308 Fording Island Road, Suite. Is that a C? It's cut off on my thing. Okay, perfect. Suite C. There it is. And you can go to Ronnie's Bakery and Cakes by Lou.com. Or if you want to go to their Facebook page, it is the Ronnie's Bakery and Cakes by Lou. And similarly, it's already queued up here. Thank you. The Ronnie's Bakery and Cakes by Lou is the Instagram handle as well. There's that beautiful cake, that beautiful tiramisu cake for the couple that just got married yesterday. Gioella, thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. My pleasure. I'm going to see you tomorrow morning.
Yes.
That's number one. Number two, I humbly request that you keep me in the loop on these savory items, because I'm going to probably come visit with you again middle to late end of the week. I got to go out of town next week for a couple of days midweek, but for the next week and a half, I'm going to be here getting ready for Heritage, getting ready for my big WrestleMania weekend, which is simultaneously takes place at the same time. And then otherwise, you think you're going to make it to Heritage this week or no?
Last year I bought tickets the day of and I went. I don't know. I don't know if
I don't buy them ahead of time. So when I said to my buddy Yvonne the other day, I was like, let me know if you hear about two. And he kind of laughed at me and he's like, I buy mine in November. I never get them ahead of time. And I'm very blessed. I mean, one year my home inspector threw me a pair. A couple of years ago, Tanner had a pair and was kind enough to share those with me. So I'm the type of person too. Like I put out a couple of Facebook posts, and at the end of the day, like I'm not the type of person, like I'm not heartbroken if I don't get to go. It is cool to go just for a couple of hours to see some friendly faces and to catch up with some people. That being said, I'm very above board about the fact that like, I get people busting my chops. Oh, you weren't at the wine and food festival, or you weren't at the, it's not that I'm antisocial. It's just that like I'm easily overwhelmed at times, and like it's worth it for me to go. I know I'm going to have fun, but as much as I will enjoy going there on a Friday and hanging out for a couple hours and then coming back out and enough for me to be home for dinner and for me to relax. Like my ideal night is to go to dinner at like 6:00 and I'm home on my couch by 8:00 watching my stuff and hanging out with the dog and the cat and my wife and whatever. So I say all that to say, if I'm able to go on Friday or even Thursday, that's awesome. I want nothing to do with being anywhere near there over the weekend. Like Saturday and Sunday, I'm good out here in Bluffton. I'll watch it on my television. And it's not because I'm anti-tourist like other people, which drives me nuts because I was a tourist at one point too. But I can take it in certain doses, and I feel like I can enjoy it just as much on my television, sitting in my screen porch and feeling the breeze and not having to put in 15,000 steps. But no, hopefully I'll be able to get over there at some point. Keep me posted. Text me if you end up coming across a couple tickets, and I will do the same if I come across a couple. And I think that'll do it for us at little after 1 here on a Sunday. There you have it, folks. Gioella Sarli from Ronnie's Bakery and Cakes by Lou. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I hope you have a great rest of the day.
Too.
All right, and we're going to be back, guys, with some more. I got a lot. I know that we had a couple that we were supposed to do this past week that had to got pushed off and rescheduled, but I'm not going to go through the list again, but stay tuned because we're going to be coming at you fast and furious with some more Indulgent Hours this week. Stay hungry, my friends.